Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. I am super excited to be coming to you today and to continue our discussion I started yesterday on some information from this book, Code to Joy, and we talked about limiting beliefs yesterday, and so I'm just going to continue today. But before I get started, if you are joining me for the first time, please type a 1 below so that I can reach out to you, connect with you, and I love to meet new people. And if you are joining me today and you're joining me live today, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And if you are catching the replay, type in #replay below. And so let's get started here. I'm actually going to read a story to you, an excerpt from this book, and it's called, it's the story of the flea and the elephant. And I'm gonna explain how that relates to everything we've been talking about. If you have not watched the video from yesterday we talked about limiting beliefs, and we kind of, sorry, my nose is itching. And hopefully you kind of identified maybe something that is a limiting belief for yourself. And so today we're kind of going to uncover or reveal why, how these limiting beliefs affect us and what they do. Hi, Mandy. Hi, Janessa. So I'm just going to read real quickly here the story of the flea and the elephant. Once upon a time, there was a flea who believed that he was king of the world. One day, he decided that he wanted to go to the beach for a swim, but the western shore was many miles away, and the only way that the flea could travel was inches at a time. So if he was going to reach the shore during his lifetime, he would need transportation. So the flea called out to the elephant, and the elephant came to his side and knelt down, and then the flea hopped up on the elephant, and pointing to the west, he said, "That way to the beach." But the elephant did not go west. He rather felt like taking a stroll in the forest to the east, and that is what he did. The flea, much to his dismay, could do nothing but go along for the ride. He spent the day being smacked in the face by leaves and branches. The next day, the flea tried to get the elephant to take him to the store to buy salve for his face. But instead, the elephant took a long romp in the northern mountains, terrifying the poor flea so badly that he could not sleep that night. The flea stayed in bed for days, beset by nightmares of thundering along mountain roads, certain he would fall to his death, and awoke each morning in a cold sweat. After a week, finally feeling well enough to rise from his bed, the flea beckoned the elephant to his side, clambered up, and said, "I'm not well. Please take me to the doctor." But the elephant merely trundled off to the western seashore, where he spent the day swimming. The flea nearly drowned. That night, sitting by the fireplace and trying to warm himself, the flea had a thought. He turned to the elephant and said, "About tomorrow, what are your plans?" You're probably wondering what the moral of the story is, and it simply is this. If you are a flea riding an elephant, before you make any plans, you might want to check out what your elephant has in mind. And so this story is basically, if we were to relate this to us, the flea in the story is our conscious mind, the part of our brain that we make plans, we organize things, we go about our day-to-day life, doing the things that we need to do. This is the things that we consciously think about that we do throughout our day, day in and day out, right? The elephant is our subconscious mind. And so this is where our limiting beliefs are stored. And these limiting beliefs, if they are stored in your subconscious mind, is it any wonder why you may feel like you're going through life and your wheels are running? Have you ever seen anybody that just seems so frustrated because they can't get anywhere? They're like working towards something, want to achieve something, or they're just tired of life and all the things that are happening to them. And they're like, why can't I get anywhere, right? Well, that's because there's those limiting beliefs that are stored in our subconscious mind. And unless we clear those out, unless we address those, I talked yesterday about it being demo day. Well, we have to remove those limiting beliefs before we can move forward and conquer those things that we're wanting to conquer. And so another way to kind of think of this is if you think of like a glacier, you see just the tip of the glacier above the water, right? That's our conscious mind. But then if you were to get a picture of the glacier underwater, that's our subconscious mind. And if you notice, there's a lot more underneath the water than there is above the water. And so in our subconscious mind, we hold all of these things that what this book called the asteroid strikes of our life. Those are stored in there. And so anytime we have something that maybe happens in our life that resonates with something that happens in our past, it's almost like we go on automatic pilot and we don't even realize that this thing from the past is actually what's preventing us from moving forward in the future. And so I wanted to just get on here and kind of explain a little bit with the conscious and subconscious mind, and how behind the scenes, if we don't dive deep and get into that subconscious mind and be aware and be alert of those limiting beliefs, then we are going to be like that elephant that is totally going in the opposite direction of what we really want to achieve, what we really want to go after, what we really want to accomplish. And so I have another little story that I'm going to be sharing with y'all tomorrow, but I just kind of wanted to give you a little bit of the why these limiting beliefs and how our mind works. And the book, of course, explains it so much better than I do, but I'm totally fascinated by this. And it just intrigues me. I think there's just so much more to our mind and our brains and the way we're created that we just have, there's so much, just the way we were created, how amazing it is and how it all works together. And it just simply fascinates me. So I wanted to share this information with you guys. Again, if you did not hear the first video yesterday, check that out. And by all means, feel free to reach out to me if any of those limiting beliefs kind of stand out to you, and I'd be happy to share more information with you. Hope you guys have a great day. Thanks.